Hello everyone, welcome back to another figure review. Just notice a little piece of fur. My name is Matthew, and today we're back with the figure reviews. Yeah, I know it's been a bit, but today we're doing a figure review on the Funko Pop Godzilla Ultima with Heat Ray. This is my latest pickup, and I was really excited to get this guy. So, without further ado, let's take a look at the figure. So, as you can tell right off the bat, this thing shares the exact same mold as the previous Godzilla Funko Pop from, well, the Singular Point line. And as a result, it also reuses the Godzilla Heat Ray from the GVK line. So basically, this is a remold of a remold. Go figure. So let's take a look at what the thing has to offer. Of course, as I've mentioned, the detailing is quite spectacular. We've got the little fins on the side here, the gnarly, nasty-looking teeth with the second row of teeth actually inside. Top of the mouth has nothing except the little peg hole. We'll get that back into that in a sec. The same kind of red membrane. At first I thought there was a color difference, but that's just my light bouncing off of it. Blue eyes instead of yellow. We got like that kind of wash on the gray vinyl, which is really cool to see because you got kind of got like that very mixed in detail. It goes through all the body. I really like that. Claws are really well painted. Just kind of basic, nothing like too over the top, no shading. Here we have like the kind of plates on the forearm and then the scales basically on the upper arm. And, of course, the feet look really good. We got one foot kind of stepping forward, one in the back. And we've got, like, the back bent toe, front toes. And this one's not painted all the way. Then again, I think the original... Actually, no, the original one actually kind of has it painted. I don't know, they're kind of inconsistent a little bit. But what is, in my opinion, the best part about it is the blue. The blue mouth, of course, looks really good. Although I find it weird how they colored the gums, but not the membrane. As mentioned, the eyes look really nice with the same kind of blue on the top of the spines. And of course, this is honestly my favorite thing about it. The white to blue. I love this pinup. It looks like a snowflake to me. Although this thing is anything but a snowflake. But as you can tell, it just looks so good. I don't know what it is about it with particularly the white and the blue kind of like seeping together. But comparing it to the original, how it's not the same thing, but it's the exact same thing. But except it's with bone white and red. So this is a really good step up. And unfortunately, it doesn't really continue down that with the rest of the tail, but is the same type of blue that you find here and here at the tip with the same extended type of spine. And overall, there's no articulation because the head's kind of static, arms are static, legs are static, and tail is static. But for the sculpt and paint, I gotta say to Funko, they really did a really good job. Now, remember that peg hole we saw at the beginning of the sculpt and paint section? That's because it comes with its own heat ray. And I've said this again, we'll actually talk about it in a little bit. This is the Heat Ray GVK Godzilla's Heat Ray, just modified. It's hollowed out from here to here. I can tell because, look at that, it's hollowed out completely. And it feels a bit more cheap. Like, this feels like a knockoff in comparison to what we got before, which is a bit of a downgrade, but what's an upgrade for me are these beautiful rings. I know they're just rings, but the way that they're applied and just head on is really accurate to the show, which feels weird to say about an accuracy with Funko Pop, especially with a character like Godzilla, who's not meant to be cheapified. Here we are, Funko Pops and U2s and all. And I guess you might as well count Minimates, although those aren't really chibi. Those are more like Lego knockoffs, whatever. Anyway, I think I'm thinking Minimates, whatever. The rings, there's 4 of them instead of like, I forget how much rings Ultima actually has. I want to say maybe like close to 10 rings, but this is still a fine representation. I will say that the white part of it looks a little odd, especially when it's obvious that it's sprayed on. Like, it's so thick a paint. It feels like a completely different material compared to this. This feels kind of brittle. This actually feels somewhat secure, but I know it's just because of the big glob of paint. And you can actually see right at the tip where they, I guess it was in the mouth when they spray painted this, although that's not spray painted at all. So, how you attach it is never been easier. You want to find the hole, and you're going to see it angled with two sharp corners here and here. And it has like a little concave right there. You're going to want it to match it like this. It's not a perfect circle, and you're just going to want to match it like that. So match it up, and it won't go in all the way, like as far as the corners meeting the corners, but you just want to like shove it in there. Oh, crud. There we go. You want to just kind of shove it in there, and it's a pretty decent fit. And there you go. Godzilla Ultima is shooting his heat ray. However, I do have one bit of a minor problem with this. It's that when you actually like look at it, he's not sitting fully down. I'm not touching this figure one bit, and it's not perfectly flat on the ground. Maybe that's more of a nitpick, and maybe it's different from figure to figure. I'm only judging what I have. But this is honestly, it looks good. It definitely looks great. If you're wondering if this one can use it, no, because he doesn't have the beam. Now, remember when I talked about it sharing the same mold with the Godzilla vs. Kong Heat Ray figure? Well, if you doubted in your mind that this doesn't reuse the mold, well, the comparison has never been more obvious. We have the same type of posture with the legs and the arms, although this one's a bit more to the front, this one's a bit more to the back. We have the same sort of head position. We have what my guess were the original teeth here shortened down, and then they just extended the jaw. We have the same sort of tail formation. It's the exact same. And even the spines, like, I can match this spine up with this spine. It's not even funny. Like, it's so obvious. And I think it's even like, it's not the same blue, but it's close to the blue. But let's compare the beams in specific, because I know a little bit people want to know. This is the GVK beam, this is the singular point beam. And you can tell right away they share the exact same mold. It's just that this one is a bit longer. Sorry, this one's a bit longer than this one, but the materials used on this one feel a lot better. This feels like genuine art plastic one would use to like sculpt something. This just feels like dollar store type quality. So I'm a bit disappointed with the quality of the plastic. However, I like this blue a lot. As for which blue I like better, it's a take it or leave it. Honestly, I kind of prefer them both for different reasons. But quality-wise, this has the better beam than this one does. However, even after a few years, it's really not fair for me to compare the connections, because I bet in a few years this thing is going to be like completely loosey-goosey across all the boards. So shoving this thing back into its mouth, it's harder than it looks, and I possibly snapped something. So that pretty much describes the differences. Don't worry, I didn't break any of the rings, thankfully. But that's also kind of a warning. These rings do feel a bit brittle, so definitely only for the adult collectors. And for the real comparison, not just with another Heat Ray Godzilla, but compared to the original. And again, as I said before, the differences are basically apparent. This one's blue, has a Heat Ray, this one does not. And for the next bit of size comparisons, here he is next to the Mechagodzilla Funko Pop and the NECA Rodan, which these two, Toho, please greenlight a season 2, so I want to see this matchup. Well, not the Monsterverse, but you might wonder why I chose the NECA Rodan. Well, did you know that the Monsterverse Rodan makes a cameo in Singular Point? Which, given the fact that Godzilla in the show is a 13-dimension controlling being, what if the Monsterverse is one of those dimensions? Maybe. And for the next bit of size comparisons, here he is next to the Playmates Godzilla 2004 from Final Wars and the NECA Godzilla 2014, still my all-time favorite figure in the entire collection. And for the last bit of size comparisons, here he is next to the original Toho Godzilla Funko Pops with the original Godzilla and the previous exclusive from Entertainment Earth, Heat Ray Godzilla. which also goes in the dark. So I guess this is where we're going to end off the review. Overall, I definitely think that this figure is an absolute win. If you have to pick one of the three available in the line, not counting the exclusive, pick this one. I honestly think it's the most, not the most unique, because we've seen, like, who knows how many Heat Ray Godzillas, and this is the third Heat Ray Godzilla that Funko's given us. Him, the GVK, and this one, and soon to be 4 with the GXK line, which also reuses the Heat Ray Godzilla mold. Funko, start getting new sculptors, please, and thank you. Well, that being said, this is still an absolute win. I definitely don't like the beam, how brittle it feels, and how cheaply made it feels. But the figure's nice, and I think that it's a presentation. It's more presentation. Its mold, again, it shares the exact same mold as the Heat Ray Godzilla, just retooled to make it more Ultima-like than Monsterverse-like. But again, if you can only pick one, pick this one. Now, the only one I'm missing is May Camaro with Pelops 2, and I think I might know where to get that one. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys like to, definitely subscribe to the channel. Believe in Jesus, accept Him as Lord and Savior today. Spread the gospel. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, everyone. God bless.